I have been in India since 2018, and as for so many African students who come here, when I first came in India, I was first with African students more around me because that was the environment which was easy for me to adapt in. But with time, things have been changing and I had a lot of experience in India. So I have been as a student in India for like more than 2.5 years now, and there are so many things which I've seen or experienced in India. But this 2020, I know it have been a year which was so hard for everyone, but for me personally, there are so many things which I've been learning through this year. And as a personal experience which I had in India, today I'm going to share something which I personally saw which happened to me, and it was a very huge lesson for me. Putting away the horrible or bad stuff which happened to me, this 2020 have been also a year in which all the strange or like the things which I never imagined happened to me. I talked to people I never did before, I tried things I never did before, I traveled sometimes things, or I did things which were just, everything was kind of new for me for trying and experiencing in this 2020. So I'm going to give only things which, something which I saw which is not good, but it doesn't mean that I didn't have good experience. I had a lot of good experience in India, but with the one which I'm giving today is just like a lesson which I got out of a bad experience which I had in India. So just to summarize it, what really happened to me, I'm not going to say everything with so much details, but just to make it simple, I was mistreated by people just because I was a foreigner and I couldn't have anyone to help me. And this was a very traumatizing stage of my life. Like I can say I've never been in a situation where I was so traumatized and stressed like when I was in this situation. And what was it? People were just pursuing me because they wanted to protect their personal interests, and they had to charge me, to threaten me, and do anything which they wanted to me just because I couldn't have anyone to help me. I'm a foreigner, I'm not in my country, I don't have anyone here who can speak for me. And even if I could be right, nobody was there to listen to how I was right because they had the power over everything, a so-called power over everything. Until when it reached a time when I had to accept whatever happened, since I couldn't do anything, like I was powerless. But that was not the thing which made me bring this story or speaking about this to you. My main reason of bringing this to you is the lesson which I got out of this. The first lesson which I got out of this was that you don't have to trust anybody to be good because anybody can turn into bad when it comes to their interest. But the second thing, which is the huge and the biggest lesson which I got out of this, I'm going to explain it to you slowly. So one thing which happened to me when I was in this situation is that I started hating India out of nowhere, like I can say without any specific reason, and I was feeling like not staying here, like I should just go and take a flight and never come back. And this came out of the spirit of disappointment which I got out of the experience which happened to me. So maybe it have happened also to you. Trying to explain how the feelings went with me. Maybe it have happened also to you. Reaching a situation where you hate someone, or you doubt someone, or you don't want to, or you don't feel comfortable with someone just because they're from the same origins with someone else who did something wrong to you, or from a country with someone who did something wrong to you. There's so many reasons sometimes which can make us hate someone who we don't even know, who we have never even been in contact with, just because we connect them to a bad experience which you had before. That was the case which I had also after experiencing something wrong in India, and they tried to connect it to all the India. And this is when something changed me, is when I finally stepped out and reached out to more Indians or many Indians through YouTube or through just going around visiting and finding people around me. This made me realize how much more Indians were better than I was thinking they were. I met people who were more honest with me, people who gifted me, people who gave me free things, people who were so kind with me, people who showed love in a way I never expected. And this completely changed my image of what I was thinking that Indians were, and it's completely made that hatred which I already created for Indians go away. And I cannot say that the hatred going away was because time passed, like time flied, but it was an experience which I had after judging people for being bad just because of a wrong experience which I had from a certain group of people who were trying to protect their own interest. And I met now the real Indians. it's made me realize that we sometimes create hatred because we got just the wrong information. And I know many of us are victims of this thing. The information you get on TV, on social media, rumors, or anything which happens to which we see. It might be dramas which happened, or a war, or a scam, or whatever which happened to us. Sometimes we turn to generalize our feelings which you got for one person to a whole country, to a whole generation, to so many people. And I don't think it's a good thing, since there are so many people on this planet who obviously have many ways of being. And I cannot also generalize that all Indians are good, but so far the experience which I had proved me wrong, that I shouldn't create hatred for India just because I got a wrong experience. And this is not something which is only about me, it can be also about you, who once maybe in your life you have been in a situation whereby you suddenly saw that you hate someone, or you hate a whole country, or you hate a team, or you hate a friend, or you hate a family, just because someone did something wrong to you in that clique or in that group. And I think this is something which we should stop and start spreading love, because I know wrong things will never stop on this planet, but we can be the people who will start sharing love, and the love which we share obviously is going to meet someone else somewhere and make them also live better, instead of creating a world full of hatred and hating each other because of wrong things which you did. What if we can start a world in which we start sharing love and showing the good side of everything which can be around us? So I hope I gave you a lesson out of my experience which I got, but I think this gave you a good image of what I was trying to explain. Thank you so much for being here. Catch you next time.